We're here at Nacimiento-Fergusson Road in southern Monterey County, California. The road just reopened after a 4-year closure following the Dolan fire and the mudslides in 2020. So come with us now for a 25-mile drive over the Coastal Range. Passing the checkpoint now as we exit Fort Hunter Liggett. Checkpoint normally isn't manned, but it's always a good idea to bring your vehicle documentation with you when you're within the Army base boundary. And the first 8.5 miles of Nacimiento-Fergusson Road are within Fort Hunter Liggett, but right now we're about to cross the boundary into the Los Padres National Forest. Coming up on the left here is the first of 2 U.S. Forest Service campgrounds on Nacimiento-Fergusson Road. This is the Ponderosa Campground, and I'm not actually sure of the status of this campground given the road closure, but in any case I'll include links to the recreation.gov site in the description below, and if you're watching this video on your desktop you'll see that in the top right of your screen there too. Now, the other campground on Nacimiento-Fergusson Road is Nacimiento Campground. It's a couple of miles further along. We are camping tonight, but we're not staying on either of those 2 campgrounds. We're actually going to stay at Kirk Creek. And Kirk Creek is right where Nacimiento-Fergusson Road meets Highway 1. So it's on the Pacific coast, it's on the cliff overlooking the ocean. It's a beautiful campsite. It's very uncommon to be able to book it actually. It usually sells out well in advance and it isn't available. And I think we may have benefited from other people's misery because I think Highway 1 is still actually closed at Lucia, a few miles north of Kirk Creek. And so I think that might explain why the campsite is available. We've stayed there a few times before. It's beautiful. We're definitely looking forward to it. Nacimiento Campground coming up here on the left. Again, I'm not sure the status of this campground, but I will include links to recreation.gov in the description below, and you'll see that on screen if you're viewing in the browser. And the road from this point will get markedly more twisty. Let's see how we get on with that. Coming up to the summit now with South Coast Ridge Trail to the left and Cone Peak Trail to the right, both dirt roads. Both have been closed now for a number of years because of the fires and because of the general road condition. And wow, you know, in my memory, these were forested areas. That was about 20 years ago now. There are no trees left. This is crazy. It's crazy. So downhill now on the westward side of the Nacimiento-Fergusson Road toward the Pacific Ocean and the Pacific Coast Highway. And as I mentioned, Kirk Creek's actually right at the junction of this road and Highway 1. Let's see how we get on. All I can say is wow. The view down here is really amazing, and you really do need to concentrate and keep your eyes on the road. Not only is it very twisty, it's very narrow, and there are no safety barriers at any point on this road, and you will encounter oncoming traffic. I remember back in 2005, I think almost 20 years ago, I somehow towed a 30-foot RV trailer with a Suburban each way over this road. So you really do need to stay alert and keep your eyes open, keep a lookout for oncoming traffic. And just a few miles now before we hit Highway 1, the Pacific Coast Highway, and Kirk Creek Campground. Arriving here at the junction of Nacimiento-Fergusson Road and Highway 1, the Pacific Coast Highway. And literally this bridge here crosses Kirk Creek. And right on the other side of the bridge is Kirk Creek Campground on the coast side of the road. It's a national forest campground, and I think, as I mentioned earlier, it's usually pretty difficult to get a booking here, so we are feeling pretty fortunate that, you know, we were able to get this last minute booking, and we're only staying for one night here.
Hi, checking in?
Yeah.
What number?
21.
21, one moment, come on down a little bit.
And I'll just let the camera roll as we drive through the campground here. This really is a spectacular location, and if you do get a chance to come and stay here, I'd highly recommend it. The spot that we booked is on the left down here, and it's right on the cliff. So we're right on the edge of the cliff top, and we'll get an unimpeded view over the sunset tonight, over the Pacific Ocean. And this spot looks pretty perfect. And all that's left to do today, as the sun gently sets over the Pacific Ocean, is to set up camp, take in the stunning scenery, and get ready for a relaxing evening with burgers by the campfire in this idyllic location. After a great night's sleep in the camper, which was no doubt helped by the fact that Highway 1 is closed to the north, so it was very quiet last night, we made ourselves a little breakfast and then headed down to Kirk Creek, which is just a little south of the campsite. And as you can see, the creek does go beneath Highway 1 and then obviously flows into the ocean. So we took Bella and followed the path from the campsite down toward the rocky beach. And bear in mind, Bella really hasn't been to the ocean very much, so a lot of this was new for her. She was really taking in the smells and the sights, and as we sort of rounded the final corner here to the ocean, she was definitely taking in some of the sounds as well. It was pretty cute to see her reaction there. After the walk down to the beach, we packed up the camper and the truck and started thinking about hitting the road. Come with us now as we leave camp and hyperlapse back over Nacimiento-Fergusson Road over to Fort Hunter Liggett and the town of Halone on the other side. Well, thanks for joining us for our drive over Nacimiento-Fergusson Road. This one was a little different. There were no dirt roads involved, but we thought the road was so unique in so many different ways, and with it reopening after 4 years and a reported $12+ million in repairs, that it would be a good addition to our Off the Beaten Track series. If you did enjoy the video, we would very much appreciate a like. It definitely helps the channel, and it helps the video find its audience when YouTube recommends it. And if you want to see more of our videos, why not subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to be notified of new video releases. If you found this video interesting, you may like our video on nearby Escondido Campground and Indians Road, and you may like to check out our playlist of 18 videos and counting in our Off the Beaten Track series. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.